welcome to another how-to video for social media. This one's for Google+. For those of you that don't know, Google+ is Google's social media platform, and with Google+, we can set up Google My Business pages, which are essential for the modern day business that wants to represent themselves online. So let's get straight into it. Just begin by quickly searching Gmail in your Google page. Here, click the top result and go to create an account. So we're going to use the example of Joe's Cafe, who features in some of our other videos. It's just a made up one we've used as an example here. So input your name, your details, choose your own username for the email address. So in this case we've used Joe's Cafe George because he's on George Street in Sydney. Add your password in, your birth date, your gender and your mobile number. All this stuff is just pretty straightforward, so just follow the prompts as you progress through that. Input your email address followed by the security code. That's just to make sure you're not some sort of bot that's hacking their system. It's important here to actually select where your location is, because this will affect further on down the track when we're setting up a location base for Joe's Cafe. So continue through the prompts and then you'll be greeted with a Gmail welcome screen. We'd probably recommend that you progress through that because it's good to just have a read and understand how this email service works. Slightly different other ones such as Outlook or Yahoo, but it's also a pretty good one where you'll use it here at Bridget. And because your notifications for your Google My Business will eventually start to roll through here as you get updates about people liking your page, as you start to share things and share things across your network, that will all start to flow through this one account. So it's got 3 email boxes: primary, social and spam. It's always good just to check all 3 in case certain things get filtered in the wrong way. And you can also access it through different apps on your phone and your tablet, which is very handy if you're on the go a lot. So we've set up our Gmail now for Joe's Cafe. These are the 3 tabs here: primary, social and promotions. This little square box up the top just lets you access other Google apps such as Google+, Google Maps, different things like that. So if we select this little drop down box, we'll see our options here, and it's important just to note that we're going to select Google+, because in order to set up your own Google My Business page, you need a Google+ account. So what we just set up then was a Gmail account. This will be our Google+ account, so our personal account. Think of it sort of similar to Facebook in that you need a Facebook profile to create a company page for you on Facebook. The same principle applies here. So go to Google+ and we'll set up your Google+ account. Some of the fields will already be populated from what you input with your Gmail address. So you can see there it's all the same as what we had before. Born June 12th, his name's Joe's Cafe. Add a photo here because further down the track Google will start to prompt you to add these things so that it doesn't think you're spamming accounts for setting up My Business pages. The more you sort of update your profile, the less it will think you are spammy. So add a nice photo. Here you can just add one of the business. It doesn't really matter what you add, but it is important actually, and we'll get to this a bit later, to make sure that you size it correctly, because otherwise you'll start to have bits of the picture cut off when you show up in results. Here's just a prompt. So Google's recognized that we have set it up as a cafe. It's just suggesting we do it as our own profile, but we'll continue nonetheless. Here we'll add people that we know. We'll skip over that part, however we would recommend that you do it, because from that, if you add people you already know, it makes it easier to add people to your Google My Business page. You can import contacts from Yahoo and Hotmail here, which makes it a bit easier, but obviously you've probably got contacts in there that you don't necessarily want to import. So just do with that whatever you feel comfortable with, but we'll continue for now. So now it's going to suggest things to follow things you love. So this is anything from arts design, as you can see there, to literature, to entertainment, to movies, to celebrities, so on and so forth. So we're going to just skip past this, but it does help to form your profile online, and again just ensure that Google believes you are a person. Here we're just going to fill in a bit more detail about where do you work. Obviously Joe's Cafe, we're a barista there, so we'll just pop that in there. It's important to note here that the more times you start to repeat certain terms such as Joe's Cafe, George Street, and the location of it will effectively impact positively, depending on how many times you do it, the more the better, how you'll rank when people start to search that term in Google, because basically when you do a search, it will plus page, they'll see Gmail, and they'll also see our business page. So there you go, we've already got 3 of them. Where do you live? Put in Sydney again, like I mentioned. It's important to get some repetition here. And finish. So this is our Google Plus page. So again, this is like our Facebook profile page, only on our Google social network. You can see along the top we've got all, friends, family, more, mentions, and explore. So these are all pretty self-explanatory. What we're looking at the moment is our news feed. And so previously where it prompted us to like certain things, this is where that will start to show up. So Sport Auto Live is something that Google thinks we may be interested in. So you can see there what's hot and recommended. They've then served that to us. They've correctly assumed that we're into photography, and so therefore they've prompted us to join those communities. Profile picture there. So again, if you hadn't cropped your profile picture to the correct size, it might just say cafe and cut off the top of Joe's, or it might be the last couple of letters of both words. So it's important there to make sure it looks the good, because you want to make sure you're presenting a professional front on all platforms. So if we select the home button here, you can see again different apps similar to the little square box that we got in the top right hand corner. The home button will give you options such as your profile, people. You can find people that you want to add as your friends. You can browse through photos, join communities, etc. And also there's some apps there such as Hangouts and Local. So we're going to select Pages. This is where we'll create our business page for Google My Business. So if you just click on that in the drop down menu, it will then take us to a Get on Google for Free page. Here you can choose your business type. Again, this is quite important to give a bit of thought to. Are you a service? Are you selling a brand? Or are you a pizza restaurant? The way in which you set it up now will impact how it reflects in your search results and how people view your business online. So make sure you select the right one here. Storefront, service area, and brand are your 3 options. For Joe's Cafe, being a cafe, it's a storefront. We're going to select that one. We're going to be initially prompted, being a storefront, to add in our address because, like we mentioned before, Google has a suite of products, and what you do in one will effectively impact another. So this is sort of tapping into the Google Maps platform. So what you input here will eventually be validated, and we'll get to that shortly, and then show up when people search your business. It'll also show up with a little map to the right, and people will be able to go to Google Maps, search for you there, get directions straight to your front door, everything like that. So it's really important that you input your right address here. So Joe's Cafe is hypothetically located in 123 George Street in Sydney. So that's what we're going to input here. So it's given us options of what it thinks is already there or what other businesses might have registered at that address. So we're just going to select the Strand Arcade. None of those are obviously Joe's Cafe. And we're going to select Add Your Business because we're neither Platypus nor Takati Garden Strand. So when we do that, it asks for our business name, our country, region. So we'll just put in Joe's Cafe in our business name. Our country is already Australia. We'll put in our street address again, followed by our city and our state, and our postcode. Funnily enough, Google Maps was actually invented in Australia, so it's very well versed for the Australian market and a great tool for businesses to maximise. Here we'll put in our main business phone. Again, what you start to input here will affect what appears later on in your search results, so make sure you input it correctly, but for things like your mobile phone, you can go back and edit that in your settings. And then we're going to input our category, so this just helps Google filter through different categories and try and give the user searching for your business the correct results. So here we are, we've created our location. It's saying we need to create a Google Plus page so you can manage your business on Google. Please confirm this information. So there's a tick option there that says I'm authorized to manage this business and I agree to the terms and conditions. If we select that and click continue, it will then prompt us to the next page, which will ask us to verify the location. So that will mean that Google will physically mail out a letter to 123 George Street at the Strand Arcade. And within that letter, enclosed within that letter, will be a code and directions on how to validate that location so that you then start to appear in Google Maps. Obviously, being a mock example, we'll click continue and verify later. So this then directs us to our initial Joe's Cafe landing page. Again, like all Google products, it's designed for the user, so it gives us another tutorial through the platform and how it impacts different things. So you can see there the YouTube logo, there's the Google Hangouts logo, Google Plus, which we just set up. Obviously a bricks and mortar building in the middle, which we'll verify with the tick. We've got our little Google Maps symbol, and then we've got some statistics there because we can use Google My Business to see how well we're performing against our competitors and against industry and how much traffic it's driving and things like that. So we'll get onto that. Also, it's worthwhile just ticking yes, please keep me informed of future page releases. That way you cross any updates that may come up as they start to merge more platforms that they may create and things like that. It's always handy to stay on top of that. Or you could just follow the Bridget blog to stay on top of all digital happenings at bridget.com/blog. So getting started, you can see here there's a few different things. The first one that we'd flag would be your edits won't show up on Google unless you verify your business. That's referring to that physical mail they're going to send out to you to the street address of your business. So once you receive that, you can then click verify now, and then your edits will start to appear in Google. So the first thing we're going to do is add our photo of our business, our business logo. This could be your business logo or a photo of your business front. We'd encourage that whatever you use, you have at least your name in that photo. Because eventually these images will start to show up in Google search results. We'd also encourage that you have the same photo for other mediums so you can synchronize your marketing platforms and carry consistency across each. So we'll set that as our profile picture, and there you go, Joe's Cafe now has its logo up on the World Wide Web. So there's a few different options here and we'll progress through them all. We'll start by adding in our website. So you've got our phone number there, which we input in the initial process. So I mentioned before, you can change this at a later date, and that is where you go to do that. But we'll also input our website URL. So save that, and you can see there a little progress bar of how much information we put in for our Google My Business page. You can see our address already appear in Google Maps there. This won't appear on a consumer-facing Google Map until it's verified. But it's just there to show us that we are there, and once it's verified, it will begin to appear. our contact info that we just input, our mobile, our web address, and our email. Our category is Internet Cafe, because Joe's Cafe offers internet with their coffees, which is a great service and drives a lot of business for them. So we can also input now our hours of operation. So I click that. You can select from the drop down menu weekdays, weekends, certain days of the week, etc. So when people start we're going to make it every day. We're open from 6 AM to 6 PM. You can change that there, and you can go back and change that anytime you like. So we're going to move on to the introduction now. This is a little blurb about your business. Again, like the profile picture, take the time now to sort of think about what your core offerings are as a storefront or service. Maybe it's the core benefits of your brand that you wish to promote through Google Plus page, and write a succinct 1 to 2 sentences maximum that you can then use as your about little blurb across your Google, your Facebook. You can have that in your website, so that it's, again, that synchronization of your marketing platforms, and also thinking about those keywords. So we talked before about Joe's Cafe being a keyword, or Joey's Cappuccinos perhaps. We would then start to use Joe's Cafe or Joey's Cappuccinos in this introduction, in this blurb, that we'll then put across all our different platforms. Because again, like I mentioned before, Google, when it searches for these things, its little spiders will crawl the web, and it'll start to pick up these keywords in all these different locations. So it's in your name, it's in your description, it's in your about me, and it's in those 3 across your Facebook, your Google, your website, your YouTube, your Twitter account. So for Joe's Cafe, if you do subscribe to our other videos, you'll notice that Joe's Cafe is a family-run business located in the heart of Sydney. And this is consistent across each one that we do, those keywords anyway, because like I mentioned, this is important for how you start to rank when people search your business. It starts to help with your search ranking. So we're 80% complete according to Google. We're just going to add some more photos here. So we're going to change our cover photo because, like the profile photo, this one's pretty important. It's one of the first things they see when they click through. So we're just going to get a photo here that really encapsulates what we feel Joe's Cafe strives for, and that's fresh food, a tidy table. So here you can upload your logo. Again, we've already done that for our profile picture. You can add interior photos so people can see what it looks like inside your business. And you can have exterior photos, photos of people at work, which is a fantastic one if you know, you're very customer service orientated, and people start to get to know you and your staff. This will really resonate for them. So, and it'll drive a lot of engagement from that. So we've saved that and we've gone back to the screen. Now it's prompted us to this little square box at the top again. And like it was in our Google Plus page in our Gmail, they're more Google apps for people to use. And in this case, being a business site, it's got my business, reviews, insights, AdWords, Joe's Cafe, Google Plus, and also YouTube. So you can quickly just click that to access any of those and moderate them or input information. So you can see here it's starting to take some shape. Our site, we've got 0 followers, but it's telling us we're an internet cafe. It's Joe's Cafe and it's family-run business located in the heart of Sydney. We've got our phone number, our opening hours, our website, and our address. And we've got our picture there. So typically by this stage you would have got, assuming that a couple of days have passed, you would have received your letter, and you would verify your code here. So continue and verify later is what we'll select, but you would verify. It's also important to note that if you do run perhaps a cafe or something where you're not on a desktop computer all the time, we'd encourage you to download the app so that you can either take photos, update statuses, comment to people back, all just on your mobile phone on the go, or perhaps your tablet. And you can do that by clicking on these buttons here. Get it on Google Play or download through the App Store. And Google Play is what, if you don't have an iPhone, chances are you've got an Android phone, and it's just your app store that you use to access different things like Angry Birds perhaps, or your Facebook app where you download that from. Just click that though and it'll take you through to download it. So we're going to share our first status here, so we're going to click photo, and we're going to upload a photo from our computer again, same as we did with our display picture and our background photo. And then we're going to share a little story with everyone, and that's Google Plus. It's important too to include things like hashtags. They get picked up again as keywords when Google's spiders are crawling the web, and also if someone happens to just Google cafe or search for the hashtag cafe and you've hashtag cafe, you'll begin to show up there as well, because it's just a natural order of things and you'll appear up as time passes. So we'll save that, post shared to the stream. We can view it here. This is what Joe's Cafe stream looks like. So that's just everything that we've posted as Joe's Cafe. So you can see there on the left we've uploaded our Joe's Cafe image. Then on the right we've shared our status, and that's Google Plus with the hashtag Bridget for all your online needs. So we're just going to go back to our Google Plus page here by selecting that in our drop down menu. Now this is what it looks like if you're a public person viewing it just through online services. So you can see there our picture there with our contrasting shapes and our logo. That all looks nice. You can see our about there. So this is what people will see when they come to our Google Plus page. It's all the essentials. Our about tells our story. Category, you can add categories to that as well. Our operating hours, our website link, our contact information, everything like that. People can also see our posts. Maybe they want to comment us, give us a good review or something like that. They can leave that there by hitting comment. Perhaps they were in a photo featured in one of our posts. They can see that there. All our photos are stored in the one spot. So reviews is the final tab here, and it's really important to get to encourage people to review your business. Maybe you want to have some point of sale things, encouraging people to go online and do that, because the more positive reviews that you do receive will affect your Google ranking in search. It'll also affect obviously people that are coming through to your Google Plus page that have never actually been to your business. So if they're there, one of the first things they're going to do if they're thinking about going to Joe's Cafe is check out the reviews, make sure the food's good, the coffee's great. So you want to make sure you're getting a lot of positive reviews there, and if not, then it's a great way to figure out perhaps maybe there's some weaknesses of the business that we need to improve on. So a very powerful tool there. So we're going to click into the settings because there's a few different things you can do here. Who can interact with you and your posts? So here you can say extended circles, anyone, your circles, or only you. So what each of these circles are relative to your Google Plus page. So when someone adds you as a friend, they'll add you to what's known as a circle. So this might be acquaintances or colleagues or friends or family. That's classified as a circle. It's pretty much just a category. So if you have extended circles, that means friends of friends can comment you. If it's anyone, anybody completely unrelated to you, which for a business could be more beneficial, as long as you have a high level of customer service. Otherwise you might get some bad reviews. Or it might just be your circles, so your immediate friends, or it's only you that can post comments. Similarly, who can comment on your public posts? So your circles. So who can hang out with you? What Hangouts are is Google's video conferencing functionality. To compare it to something else that's similar to Skype or FaceTime for Apple. And so that's just saying, whether I just want my friends and family to hang out with me, or potentially anybody can phone me up and start video conferencing me. Obviously, you'd probably want to filter that so that not everybody can hang out you in case your phone starts to ring off the hook. So you can edit that there. Notification delivery. So that's why it's important to set up your Gmail initially and sort of have an understanding of that, because here you can get email notifications. So, Joe Blogs talked about Joe's Cafe. He said this, that will come through to emails. and you can check that without having to necessarily check your Google Plus page every single time, or you can select to have it come through to your phone. Manage your subscriptions are just the emails that Google will send through to you based on the things that you like and the interactions you get. So that might be new friends or new circles to join or new communities to update and things like that. So maybe you want occasional updates or none at all. You can change that there. And then just what you can receive notifications about. So Google My Business notifications is everything. Posts, people joining your circles, people liking your photos or commenting, people attending events. Perhaps you set up an event, or you create a community, or you have a poll. So all those sort of things you can filter. So third-party tools just refers to utilizing other Google advertising platforms and linking those two together. Apps and activities are further extensions you can add to your Google My Business page. This can vary from things like custom-built apps and activities to stock standard stuff. So maybe that's some sort of photo editing app. What we're going to go to though is photos and videos, and we're going to tick show geolocation by default on newly shared albums. We can change the setting by album here, but basically what that means is that every time we upload a photo to our Google My Business page, it will tag us, or it will have a location at the bottom of the picture that says Joe's Cafe on George Street. So that's great. Again, it's just got you some extra presence across the internet, and also starts to log that address in Google Maps and Google Search. And again, like we said, the more you start to get that repetition occurring, the better it is for your results. Also allow viewers to download my photos and videos if you wish. That doesn't really happen, but if it's sensitive photos, then there are other ways for them to take it anyway. They can just take a screenshot if they're on the phone, but if you don't want them to be able to do that, just untick that. It's as simple as that. Don't feature my publicly shared Google Plus photos as background images on Google products and services. So by signing up to these platforms, it basically just means that Google could potentially white out your name but use your profile as examples. So if you're really good at your Google Plus page, then that can occur, but it's highly unlikely. It'll be 1 in a million that happens. So you can either tick that or leave it. It's up to you. We're just going to leave it. Auto enhance though is a bit of a good one. So automatically enhance new photos and videos that we post. You can either have that off, normal or high. We would recommend selecting high, just so that your quality of photos is that little more professional. And like I was talking about the background image before, the better you can make a photo look, the more it'll pop and the more engagement you'll get. Managers is where you can add people to manage your Google My Business page. So we created the Joe's Cafe Google Plus page, is what you're seeing here on the left. That's not the profile. And then you can add other people. So potentially you have some social media managers like Bridget, and you want them to be able to access this. This is where you would click the Add Manager button, input our email address, and then follow the prompts. And that would then give us access to post on your behalf, add reviews, comment people, things like that. Or perhaps you've got staff that want to do it. That's where you go to. The last tab here is audience. So this sort of taps into the type of audiences you want to advertise to, if you want to put paid advertising behind it. And also affects different algorithms for how you appear in different categories. So your target audience can be anyone. We'd probably recommend it if you are a small business, keeping it quite broad, unless you're putting paid money behind it, in which case you'd go niche. But for whichever one you select, you need to have read the instructions regarding age and geographical restrictions and accept those terms and then save. So yeah, thanks for your time, and we hope you found that useful. Please leave us any feedback via email. If you have any more questions, please don't hesitate to contact us, or if you're interested in any of our other services, give us a call or sign up for our tutorials at bridget.com.